Another chance at life after surviving COVID-19 and severe lung damage. UT Health transplant surgeons at Memorial Hermann Hospital performed the first double lung transplant in Texas. The patient right there, 70-year-old Francisco Medellin. He's a retired construction worker who has diabetes, but no other underlying health issues. He contracted the virus in June, then contracted pneumonia and acute respiratory distress syndrome. Medellin was up and walking just days after surgery, and he'll spend 2 to 4 weeks in rehab to regain his strength.
You may not be able to climb Mount Everest or run a marathon, but definitely going to shopping, going to events with the family, or just regular stuff like going to the church, being able to do regular activities without any oxygen or feeling short of breath. I think it's definitely the quality of life significantly improves after that.
That's really incredible. Doctors say lung damage is the most common reason patients are dying from coronavirus, and they believe they will see more patients needing double lung transplants.